And here's our next replay. This one is by MNote, who likes to hang out with us during our live play sessions. Also sent in an awful lot of replays, and he used channel points to get a cover my replay so that we prioritize this one on the Fushun at tier 6. Now, the Fushun is part of the Pan-Asian destroyer line, and as a result, there's a few interesting quirks about her, right? The main one is that she has deep water torpedoes. So these torpedoes can only hit cruisers, battleships, and carriers. They cannot hit destroyers. Although, frankly, I think they should hit subs, because if it's deep water torpedoes, then it should be able to hit subs. Just saying, but I digress. These torpedoes typically are harder to spot. They have a better concealment to them, and they do quite a large amount of damage. Now, the Fushun herself is a carbon copy of the Anshan, which is a premium version, which Wargaming put out long before this line of ships. And the Anshan is based off of the Tier 5 Gremiashi, which for the longest time was considered the most OP boat in World of Warships until mechanic shifts and power creep kicked in, and it's no longer the case. So she's got Soviet 130mm guns, four of them in single turrets. Quite comfortable boat to play. Good with guns, good with torpedoes. I wouldn't consider her, you know, strong in one or the other. She is a little bit sluggish, if I remember right, when it comes to maneuverability. Do you agree, Emno?
And not just that. Yeah, she does. But the thing that I noticed the most about her is horrifically glacial turret rotation.
Yes. And that is, again, that's part of the Anshan problem. They basically just copy pasted her over into the tech tree, right? So Hoghammer, oh, thank you so much, Hoghammer, donating $250 to save the children. Let's go, Hog. Thank you so much, dude. Fair enough. Okay, well, let's get into your build then, MNote. So your build is Main Armaments Mod 1, Engine Room Protection, Torpedo Tubes Modification, and Propulsion. Now, makes sense. I will say this, if you really struggle with the turret traverse, and I do too, I would highly recommend you consider Main Battery Mod 2 here in the third slot.
Yeah,
because
that's... yeah.
Yeah, you're going to want Grease the Gears too, to get it down to something that's meaningful.
Yes, if I have a captain built for this ship, I would do that. But as we'll get into the captain build, well, that'll...
Yep. Yeah, I see you're using Sazen Bing, so he does have some talents, right? If he gets Combat Scout, then that helps with main battery reload. With enough torpedo hits, you get buff to torpedo speed, as well as you get +1 torpedo reload booster consumable. But I don't think that you get that if you don't
have that.
Yeah, if you don't already have it, it doesn't matter. But you do get the buff to the torpedo speed at least, so that's kind of neat.
It looks like he's only got a 10-point commander because he's got a standard build.
Yep, so you're grinding it up, right?
Destroyer build.
Yep, yeah, I only started playing Pan-Asian ships very recently, so yeah, Sa Ming is only, I think he's now 11 points. I think this game actually put him up to 11 points. But yeah, not a very high thing, and I'm working up this line for the first time. That's why he's on this boat and not like on a higher tier one. And that's the main reason why I don't have Grease the Gears, is because I know on the UYAG, I mean, it's an American destroyer. Those turrets rotate just fine.
Once you get to Gajimata, the turret traverse problem goes away. So if you're planning on moving him up the line, then I agree with you. Don't worry about Grease the Gears. If it's going to be a permanent captain for Fushun, Grease the Gears is pretty much necessary.
Yeah, I completely agree, but I am going to be moving him up the line, so.
Gotcha. Cyber, that's awesome. I didn't even know you could do that over on Kick. So your build, you've got just the core build, preventative maintenance, last stand, survivability, and then concealment. That makes perfect sense there, yeah. Okay. And then just a 1 point, yeah, just your liquidator flag. Fine, whatever. Okay. Trying to conserve flags, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's tier 6. I usually don't bother with flags. I'm actually surprised I put that one on.
All right, fair enough. Let's drop the build viewer on the vertical stream as well.
Usually my sort of rule of thumb is I only start putting flags on ship at tier 8.
And that's fair. That's fair. Unless you're rolling in credits, then makes perfect sense to, you know, only do it at 8 and up. And, you know, some people don't even do it unless it's for something specific like ranked or whatever. So, Burnt just donated as well, $100. Thank you, Burnt, for doing that. I'll tell you what, in honor of Hog and Burnt, we're gonna put some more googly eyes up here. Let's get this going. Let's get this going here. Thank you, GG's Burnt. Let's go. All right, so there. Why not? There we go. Burnt Tunawad with a donation drive-by of $100 for Save the Children. Let's go. Thank you so much, Burnt. Now we're only like 600 and change away from the Benham giveaway. That's exciting. Well, Wargaming Twitch drops work on Kick. Unfortunately, they will not. No. They will not work on Kick. That's a Twitch only. 560 to unlock the Attorney at Sea Benham. And 5 gifted subs from Burnt. Look at this. Guys, again, when we get gift subs, we see pictures from Stevie's life. There's Stevie and his first love, Zelda. Licking her in the no-nos, but, you know. And that's Stevie when he would go pee. That's Stevie when he'd go pee. Look at him. He'd just sit there. He'd just sit there and stare off to the... Oh my goodness. Burnt, thank you for the 5 gifted subs. That means you should be getting some salt shaker destruction effects. If you haven't already gotten it for this this grouping, you should be getting 3 for that. Ben!
Enemy force detected.
Ben with a gift sub. Let's go. We're going to shout out Killer Ben as well. Most of you guys know him. The awesome community manager for World of Warships, however, changing roles or has changed roles. I don't know exactly what yet, but I'm excited for you either way, Ben.
All right, so I want to point out, I see the flint coming this way, and I'm like,
yes.
Oh crap, that's kind of dangerous.
Yes, it is. Now, this is a random battle. We haven't talked about the lineup, but this is tier 7 to 5, so you're considered middle tier. And you are in this front on this side here. Interestingly enough, nobody's gone middle. And you just got...
Well, okay. First of all, yeah. Flint is here. Yeah.
And you got beached. Oh no. You better hope this Flint doesn't have hydro. Yeah, these are replays, N1. This is replay analysis. Look, Mon, no hands.
I predict that he's going to turn in like that. That's why I said my torpedoes that way. And, well, I apparently somehow
you guessed right.
Predicted it correctly.
Not only that, but
looks like I am.
Not only that, but he doesn't have hydro. I'm really amazed by that. Shaska got a gift sub.
What is it? There we go. And what is the hydro range for Flint? Is it 5 or 4?
4.
Okay.
So, you know, but that's for ship spotting. It would still at least spot torpedoes too.
It would have probably saved his life there. But yeah, that's a nice first blood.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Killing the thing that's supposed to kill you. He looked like he fired the first was wide Dutch, and then when he flipped the other side, he fired narrow. That's how it looked to me.
I thought both were narrow, but that's what I was intending anyway.
Oh, both of M notes. I didn't catch M notes, but honestly,
he was talking about the flints. Okay,
I think so, because I don't think I saw yours going wide. But either way, if you don't know exactly how the ship's going to be turning, it makes sense to also consider widespread.
Yeah, now that that's been mentioned, yeah, I think that the first set was widespread from the Flint.
Okay.
Because that's why I was able to fit in the gap.
Dutch is talking about the Flint. Yeah, that's what I thought too. Okay, yeah, whatever. So you got a Nelson. You're not going to go out to the B side of things yet. Okay.
Well, I've noticed a massive lemming train forming.
Yeah, your side. Yeah, everyone's going to A.
Yeah. Part of that is our triple Scharnhorst 43 division.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
I'm not in a hurry to go out there with an Emerald and a Graf Spee because I know that they both have Hydro. And the Emerald can be pretty dangerous to destroyers.
I would not stop smoke and shoot here. The Emerald doesn't have a lot of time in your range, especially with you reversing now. So I think this is a bit of a waste of smoke. In addition to that, you tell the Colorado, if he's paying attention, where you are. And obviously the Colorado should be most concerned about you with your deep water torps and stuff. So what I would be doing, if you're worried about Emerald and Graf Spee, is I'd be playing right about here, and just depending on the range, you know, keep an eye on your concealment to these guys, obviously, but
Right.
I would be hanging out here because that also provides you with vision and a torp angle on the Colorado. The Nelson, you know, is probably just going to die, right? He's just going to get focused down, and that's it. Now, because of your smoke, see, that's the other part of the problem. You couldn't see what the Colorado was doing, so as a result, he surprised you. And or you surprised him, one of the two.
Yes. I think we both surprised each other.
Mm-hmm.
One thing I will say about this living trade is at least the division is pushing.
Yeah. Agreed. Agreed. They're pushing and they're having a good time. Yep, there goes the Nelson. Oh, look, torpedo speed increased.
Yep. I think that's
Alrighty.
the first time I've procced anything for... No, wait. I'm pretty sure that I also did id my Incheon replay that I sent you.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, you got his engines and he's flooding, so that's neat. Mambo number 5. Let's go. So we saw
There's
one
the
Monahan.
throwback.
Yeah, we saw one Monahan. They are divisions, so I'd be worried about running into both at the same time.
Right. I was worried at the beginning because I noticed that there was one destroyer on each flank on our side, so I didn't know which side they were going to spawn on. That's why I was somewhat more cautious at the beginning, because I was like, if they're over here, you know...
And there he is.
And Monahan is a weird premium, as I recall. It's a ship that can kind of like has two completely different playstyles based on which hull you have, right?
Correct. So one playstyle, she only has 2 guns in the front. That's the B hull. But she's got Benson torpedoes, right? And then the other is she's essentially just a premium Farragut. So most people are going to put her on the B hull because otherwise just play Farragut.
Yeah.
But this is, you know, this is where I'd like to see you going after the Monahan right now. You've got an Algerie and a Farragut that are there too. Like, together you
That's
guys can...
a fair point.
You can wreck him and isolate him. Alternately, if you are going to move forward, these guys are starting to push around, so I'd be trying to put myself here now. So that I can maybe give vision for the Scharnhorst to the bottom and make them feel more comfortable with being aggressive and pushing. Incheon's a fun ship. I didn't really... Oh, yeah, both Monahans are there. What do you know?
I mean, yeah, they are divisions, so that's one thing to keep in mind.
Yeah, it's just for a while we only saw one by B, the other one was over by C.
To what the comment said, I do agree. I like Incheon as well.
Mm-hmm. Bad
Do not regret
adverts.
that purchase.
So Emerald's coming. This is a great opportunity for you to torpedo him. Unfortunately, you're about to get into the cap too. What you might want to do is, if you know you're going to torp him, like slow down and turn so you get out of the cap. You don't go into it, right?
See, the thing here is especially during this holiday season, I have seen games get out of hand too quickly because of cap control. And so I was a bit hesitant because they had 2 caps. I wanted to get in here in order to try and contest this one.
So if you want
That
the cap,
was my thought.
if you want the cap, that's fine. This is another example of a wasted smoke because he was never within your concealment. Is what a mod cyber?
Smoke screen
Nice kill. I like that you didn't shoot him, by the way. At the very least, you didn't shoot him. If you shot him, it'd be like, hey, look, torpedoes are coming.
Right.
This down here is part of a mod called Battle Expert, I believe. And there is a list of all my mods and also a YouTube video as to why I use the ones I do. And how they help.
I haven't played this ship enough to really get a good handle on its shell ballistics. They feel much better than most American destroyers, so there's that.
Yeah, they're the Soviet 130s. They're comfortable. Yeah. Hey, DrFX. Are we already reached 15K? No. Did we?
We've destroyed an enemy cruiser.
Holy heck, we did! How did we... Stats, you're right. Even TC didn't know. Let's go, everyone. That's awesome.
Apparently Stats was the only one who knew.
Surprise. You came out of chat to listen to Duckman's tunes? Nothing wrong with that. Oh my goodness, Hog. You were just getting your stream ready and noticed. Okay. So that means it's time for the Benham giveaway. Now, TC, how does that work? Do I just... Am I giving that away, or are you giving... How does all that happen? Why have you decided to open water gunboat now?
For the most part, it's because there's not really anything I'm that afraid of at this point.
Okay.
Like, my team's all around me, so it's a target-rich environment for the enemy team. The chances that they're going to shoot at me, less so than if I was kind of out on my own.
Okay. I do want to highlight one thing that was very important. You went up with the Scharnhorsts, and as a result, you got to play the torpedo dodging minigame for a while.
Yes.
You know, that's one big danger for that. The other danger, of course, is, you know, you're just a puny tier 1 destroyer. But you're right, they are very much focusing on other things, so, okay.
I actually did well with the torpedo dodging in this particular game, all told, which for me is kind of a big win, because I think I said it a little bit ago, like yesterday, that torpedoes are really my kryptonite, I've found.
Engine boost activated.
Awesome. Sounds good, TC. I'll check it after this replay. But you're absolutely correct, M-Note. And we've talked about that before, how to dodge torpedoes, because it's so easy to screw them up. I screw it up too. The best way to do it, I'm going to pop out of your view for a second, but I always recommend get to the gun view, you know, which is like the, kind of like this, but you know, you're on the front turrets, and it makes it a little bit easier to see the torpedoes and dodge them and stuff.
I also have a mod that makes the tracks a bit wider to make them easier to see.
Right. We've talked about that too. There's one of the Aslane's mods. Makes it easier to spot the torpedoes too. Oh look, you found the Scharnhorst.
Yes. That shot was probably aimed at him.
Oh
so
god, yes, of course.
But at this point, I mean, at this point we've won. And I'm just stat padding, basically.
I mean, you might as well, and if you die, who cares? It's a time extension. Same thing with the other Scharnhorst that's almost dead. But no time extension for you, sir.
Still almost get to 100K. Not quite,
mean,
but almost.
It's a good game. There's a couple of... Wow, you're using some boosters. You know, a couple of things that I would say for you is you're a little bit too eager on the smokes, right? I feel like 2 of the smokes that you used were kind of wasted, right? But beyond that, you got a pretty good handle of the ship.
Yeah. The thing with the smokes, and I think it's something that I'm still coming to terms with, is just how the Pan-Asian smokes work. Like you get more charges of them and they cool down faster, not to the level of the British destroyers, but much better than the smokes of most other nations.
Yes.
Especially with the having the more of them, I feel a bit more free to I feel a bit more free to use them. You know, if I waste one, oh well.
Yes, but keep in mind that smokes can work both ways. Smoke can also warn the enemy of your presence in your location, right? So if somebody's paying attention to that, like if the Colorado was paying attention to your smoke right there, he probably would have HE in the barrels and clobbered you pretty hard, right? I don't know if he would have killed you, but he probably would have clobbered you. And then it was the Emerald. If he'd been paying attention, right? I mean, for him, there were two indicators. You were in the cap was one.
And the cap and the smoke.
Yeah.
At least I didn't, like you said, at least I didn't give him that third indicator of firing at him.
By shooting. Absolutely. So all I would say for you is, you know, the smokes, yes, you've got more of them. And yes, they cool down faster. But I would still try to only use them as kind of a, if I need to do a specific objective, right? Did something take a torpedo and flood and you know they DCP'd, smoke and shoot them to get that permanent fire, for example, right?
Right.
If I, you know, need to disengage from being spotted by a carrier, pop the smoke and you know, use that for that. That's a great use for the Pan-Asian smokes. Part of the reason I'm trying to get you to be less dependent on smokes is because once you get to tier 8, the Xian Yang, you get access to radar. I wouldn't recommend it at 8, but at 9 and 10, the Chengmu and the Yu Yang, radar is the bee's knees for those ships, especially in ranked. So, you know, get into the habit of the smoke is really, if you need to, it opens up other things, and you're not an American destroyer where you smoke and pew pew all the time, kind of thing. So
you said that 2 of the smokes you thought that I used were wasted, but there were 3 of them. Which one do you think I used correctly? Well,
the first one, because there's really no, I mean, you saw the flint and you said, oh crap, and you panic smoked, right? And of the 3, that's the best, you know, best used one. He didn't have hydro, which saved your bacon. If he had hydro, it would have worked against you there too, right? Because then he'd spot you and you can't spot him and you get clobbered.
With Flint, is it a choice between hydro and Def AA?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
And for some odd reason, he chose defensive anti-air. Atlanta, usually players will use defensive anti-air because they have unlimited numbers of it, whereas Flint, they do have a limited number of charges. So... who's empted for a Venom draw? Let's go. Absolutely.
I know I am.
What do we want for a title for this replay, y'all? What do you guys think? What would be a good title? Should this make its way to YouTube? Hashtag anyone but Tuckman.
I feel like something about smokes, considering that, you know, I used 3 of them and I think that I kind of need to learn how to use them a bit better. So maybe something, Smoker's Remorse, something along those lines.
I like that. Smoker's Remorse.
Smoking kills doesn't really work because it didn't kill me, at least in this game.
Nope. Smoke break. Okay. Puff, puff, pew. Awesome. That's a good one. Yeah. Puff, puff, pew, smoke break. I mean, I don't know. This is your replay. So if you see any other titles that you really like, then all the Fs are fun. Fushun and flip flops. There you go.
I'm actually kind of leaning towards smoke break. Actually, because I'm thinking Spaceballs here. The one that I'm thinking might be a bit too long, but smoke if you got them.
Yeah, and that's a good one if I felt like you should have smoked and you didn't.
Got it.
You know? But in this case, I do like the Smoker's Remorse idea because it's like every time you smoked, you immediately kind of felt bad about it, right? Like, oh,
yeah,
maybe I shouldn't have done that. Get puffed. All right. Fair enough.
But I did it. So this game actually was an E reward for me. So
I saw that.
Get another E.
You did get another E,
You
yeah.
saw that it was an efficiency badge, but of course, because of the thing, it doesn't show you which one. But I remember that it was an E badge.
I'm just messaging TC right now. Coming over from YouTube. Thank you, Candyman. How's it going? All right.
Good
Well,
evening. I'm taking it that he's from Europe.
probably. All right. Well, M-Note, that was a fun game, and I don't think I have that many Fushun games on my replay channel. And yeah. So we're talking.
Okay.
Yeah. So keep doing what you're doing. Keep working on the smoke, and
Will do.
we'll go
Thanks
from there.
for the
Okay.
advice.
Hell yeah.